Donald Trump and his pick for Vice President of the United States of America. So many people are saying so many bad things, a terrible choice, and others are saying good choice. I mean, why don't they just leave him alone and let's see what plays out? He's a strategist, that Trump. I think he's made a great choice. And I did hear the governor of Indiana speak a few years ago at a convention I was at, actually in Indiana. It was the annual NRA show at least 2 years ago, and I was impressed with him. And in fact, he impressed me a lot. So I think he's the right guy, and we'll play it out as said, and we'll see what happens. Recently in Ontario, Canada, there was a survey with regard to the 12,000 Syrian refugees who have showed up, I should say, pretty good grammar, hey, and everybody is saying, we're frightened, we don't like this, why is the government doing it? And I'm talking about more than 2/3 of all the people who live in that province, they're scared. And the government says, so what? Get over it, don't get over it, we're bringing more in. These liberal freaks, I gotta tell you, this ain't good. I mean, what are you gonna do with them? They just keep getting elected. Is it because the people actually vote for them? Or is it because some liberal freak counts the votes? I kind of think that would be it. Now, speaking of left-wingism and stupidism, recently the terrorist and murderer Omar somebody, he killed a bunch of people, and he said, I did this in the name of Allah. And then the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, she said this, we may never know the shooter's motivation. That's a moment of silence, isn't it? You know, kind of like if it walks like a duck and looks like a duck and quacks, it might be a duck. If a guy goes in and says the Allah thing and starts killing people in the church, maybe he's a terrorist. What is up with all of these people? The liberals in Canada talking about stupid. Okay, well, let's roll back to them. I mean, liberals, stupidity, freaks. I repeat myself constantly, but recently the new government there in Canada, they've been in power for, I think, 6 months. They come along and say, hey, we're going to save everybody. We're going to save you from yourself. You people are too dumb to raise your children, so we'll do it. We're going to have a national daycare program. That's later. For right now, we're going to pay you stud fees. That's basically what it is. We're going to pay you to have children, and those that you already have, we're going to give you big bonuses on that as well. We're going to call it the Canadian Child Benefit Plan. Okay? So it's pretty complex. I mean, I think you have to have a PhD in something just to fill the forms out. I mean, it's wild. In any event, children now will get upwards to $6,400 per child, or children, parents, I should say, for their children under the age of 6, and about $5,400 or something over 6 up to 18. This is per year. If you got 10 kids, you have a good income, hey. And everyone thinks it's free. Firstly, nothing's free from anybody. There ain't no free lunch. It costs you money to get there, and somebody else has got to buy it, that lunch that you're consuming. And this government, they go on and on to tell everybody that, you know, we're here to help. Whatever the government says we're here to help, I mean, I got to tell you, run, because those are frightening things to say. Blah, blah. I got to tell you a little story. Back in the 1970s, I got 5 kids, okay, and I'm old. And back then I had a lot of kids and I had no money. I was poor as a mouse. And we had then what was called the family allowance, which is the equivalent of this, and I think I'm the only true capitalist alive, because all the other capitalists I know, they still take when something's given. We used to get these little checks back then. They were $28 per child, and the processing was $60 some odd to write the check, and I wouldn't take it. I said, that's a stud fee. I mean, I'm a man. For God's sakes, give that to a horse. I'll sleep in the couch. I know how kids are made, and how dare you interfere in my life? Reduce my taxes. Don't start giving me money. And so we had garbage bags full of these checks. Never did cash them. My wife came to me once and said, are you crazy? We're poor. We got kids to feed. And I said, I'll go get another job. We are not going to be part of that system. I wish everybody would do that. We'd have a better system. And now in Canada, they're doing it again on steroids this time. And everybody says it's free. It ain't free. For heaven's sakes, reduce the taxes and let us look after ourselves and get the heck out of our bedroom. Hey, y'all come back tomorrow. We're going to have more for you from the right. See ya.